Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to our Sleuths night. We're so excited you're here. I have two lovely ladies, my sleuth co-hosts here. I have Sonia and Sam down here. If you are not subscribed or following these lovely ladies, I hope you will follow them. They are both the best. I am going to let them introduce themselves. So if you want to kick it off, Sonia, pointing the right way.
My name is Sonia. My channel is named Sonia with an I, inspired by Anne of Green Gables because my channel is very cozy and nature like Anne herself is. I'm kind of a grown-up Anne of Green Gables, I believe, because I have that same kind of quirky curiosity, but I love the coziness of life and just the building relationships. So today, I am working really hard to get some sleuth points. I busted out of the gate like a champion. I read a whole series. I read the whole Lunar Chronicles. It was like over 100 something points. I was so excited. And then I went, wah, wah, wah. So today I'm going to work really hard to finish The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. There's quite a few points on this just because it fits a lot of our little prompts. And I'm also reading Lending a Paw by Lori Kess because I know that it is a favorite of our beautiful host, Amy, and that will help with the points too. So I'm really trying to work hard for the sleuths, even though I've kind of went this week. So looking forward to sprinting with you all. And Sam?
Hi, I'm Sam. My channel and all my social media is A Spark of Sam, and that kind of tells you what my channel is about, and that's because it's all the things that bring a spark into my life. So it's kind of chaotic. It's books, crafting, gardening, traveling, literally whatever I feel like, because I'm just chaos all the time. But not for the sleuths, because we are here to save our booktuber friends and calm the chaos for once. So I've been kind of slow to the start. I started a part-time job and trying to reschedule that. My husband is road construction. He's back at work. So life's just been a little chaotic, but I'm in the middle of a lot of books. So the other teams better be scared because I am over halfway finished with Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. I'm also over halfway with What the River Knows. I'm also over halfway with the buddy read, Murder by Cheesecake. And then there's another book too I'm reading. I'm in the middle of a lot. So I'm hoping to just at least make a dent tonight in everything that I'm reading.
Amazing. I realized I should share what I'm reading as well, actually. So I'm like 10 pages into each of these books because I just finished one to submit because we are having a cutoff that actually takes place for the Murder and MAYhem readathon during our sprints, and that is at 7:30 CST time, which is about a little less than an hour and a half from now. So I have Mayhem at a Halloween Wedding by Emmeline Duncan for my green kind of nature-looking thing, and it's just an anticipated cozy mystery read. And then a thriller I'm reading is Saltwater by, I think it's, do you guys say Katie or Caddy Hayes? Because there's...
I believe it's Katie Hayes.
Okay, Katie's. Because, yeah, Caddy sounds a little odd, maybe. The Katie Hayes. And I've never read anything by this author, but my library had it. It looked interesting. It's got the nature going on. So I'm going to be reading these on the sprints. And then I saw someone's asking, yes, we will be making an announcement for who has won during these sprints. I've counted up all this. Each team leader is responsible for counting up their team's points. I've counted up all of them up until this point, and then on the sprints, I'll be checking for anything that comes in until the cutoff, and then the team leaders and I will be communicating in Discord to make the final decision with all the sabotage points and all of that figured out. So we will be having that announcement probably a good while into this because it sometimes takes a little bit of time to get all the numbers right, but I'm very excited to be making that, and I'm going to go ahead and pop up some of these comments because I see we have quite a few. Good evening, Grandma Susan. Hello, Bianca. Hello, Princess Peach. I hope you're having a blessed day as well. Hi, Jill. Hi, Amy. Hello. Emily says, have about 5 more pages for Murder by Cheesecake for the masterminds.
No.
How is it, Emily, though? Do you like it? I have it in there, and I'm ready to start it sometime this month. I'm excited. I think you might be muted, Sonia. Oh, okay. I just want to make sure you knew. Tara says, hi, mastermind here crashing the party. We love you still.
Even welcome to the party, yeah. But we're not crashing. We don't do that here.
Yeah. Maggie says, hi, everyone. Let's go Sleuths. Woo! I'm reading an arc of Dead of Summer. I also have Plantation Shadows going too. Amazing. I love both of those. I think, yeah, Dead of Summer by Jessa Maxwell. I just read that. I really loved it. I hope you do too. Jennifer says, hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Going to start Murder in a Cup by Lauren Elliott.
Have you read the Ellen Byron Plantation Shutters? Have you read that series?
Yes. I just finished Murder in a Bayou Boneyard or Murder at a Bayou Boneyard, which I think is book 6, and turned that in today. I did skip book 3 or 4 because Audible didn't have it included. So I skipped ahead to get some more points for the Sleuths with those audios, but I'm loving it. Have you?
I have not, but I do love Ellen Byron. I have read the Ellen Byron series that I believe you're starting, the one with the cabin on the front. I can't remember.
The Very Woodsy Murder.
Yes.
The Golden Motel.
Yes, I loved that. But she is also Maria Del Rico, and she does the catering series, and I like that series too. So I've read Ellen Byron and enjoy her a lot.
How far are you into the catering series? Because I've listened to book 1 and I really liked it, but I need to continue.
I got to book 3 and then it got a little relationship-y for me, so I wasn't in a big hurry to get back to it. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the relationship-y chatter in my cozies.
Yeah, me too.
So I kind of went with it a little bit, but I still enjoy them. I know that it's what's coming, if that makes sense.
That's true. I liked all the Italian American stuff in it. I was like, yeah, this is giving me some vibes I've seen with some Italian Americans in my family.
The mafia.
Sure. Yes. Allegedly, I have very distant relatives, possibly in Sicily. I was like, okay, great. Yeah, I don't think Murder in a Cup, though, is that... I know I've seen quite a bit by Lauren Elliott, but... Oh, that's the Crystals and Curiosities mystery series. I want to start that one. That one looks so fun.
I think the first one is called Steeped in Murder.
I think I have it in my library.
I think I have it. I think I have it. It has a teal cover.
Yeah, with a dog. Is it a dog on it? With a cup that's steaming?
Uh-huh. I believe so. I'll grab it on our next sprint.
I gotta check that out.
Crazy.
Oh, here's Maddie. Hi, friends. I'm so excited to see you guys, even though you're my enemy currently. We're watching you, Maddie. We're watching you. But so glad you're here. Grandma Susan said, I understand I was making an announcement during these sprints. Yes, it will be at least 2 hours into the sprints, just between us hitting the cutoff time and then the sleuth, all the leaders finalizing our numbers and switching sabotage points and stuff so that we can get our final average in. I think she was asking that to Maddie, but let's see. Emily says, can we submit a book we started before May if we only count the pages we read in May? Yes, that's my understanding, as long as you read over 150 pages in May and you only count the page count points for what you read in May. So if it's a 400-page book, but you only read 200 in May, you wouldn't get the 400-point bonus. Did I explain that well, I think?
Yeah, I didn't realize that because I have one that I started in May, but I didn't turn in, or that I finished in May. I don't read all my books in April and then it become a new one. I was working on, you know what I mean? I was carrying over. So I may have to look and see if it would be worth even turning in.
Yeah, I think you could still submit it. I did that with one thriller, but fortunately I only read 30 pages or so of it in April. So I still had 300 some pages to submit. So I was like, hey, take it.
Even if it's 10 points, it's,
yeah,
10 points
it all adds up.
Yeah.
You know what made me so mad though? So when I finish What the River Knows, It's 396 pages. And I'm like, are you kidding me? We couldn't make this a couple more to be 400?
Oh,
I
that
had
is so
two books
painfully
I
close.
I had 2 books that I chose not to read for that reason. It was
I
like
got
390, and I'm like, girl, I'm from the math of you round up.
yeah.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have gotten the audio for this, I wouldn't have picked it up. But I own the book. I got the audio on Libby, and I'm like, okay, we can get this done. And then I was flipping through the pages. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's frustrating.
It really is. Are you guys the type, for me at least, whenever I start a new book, I always flip to the end because I want to see how many pages it is.
Mhm.
Like, I just need to know, that way I can keep like a running total in my head that, oh, I'm like 50 pages and this is like 250, or I don't know. I need to know like where I'm at.
I try to read about 100 or 150 pages before I go to bed at night. So I like to see, I kind of like to estimate how long a book is going to take me if I'm eyeball reading it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I also like to listen to books before night. So I always try to like measure out, even when I'm not doing a readathon, just to kind of know so I can make a plan, because I have this tower of books I need to read before it suffocates me.
Yeah, mine fell over and like scared me to death because I was in another room and I heard this huge crash, went to my office and it was a pile of books everywhere. And I was like,
Oh.
okay, well, nothing broke. See, my best friend is a Digna, says hello from Southwest Georgia.
Hello, Georgia.
I want to visit. Breezy Ann Reed says hi. Hello, everyone. Emily says yes. Grandma Susan, yes, the announcement will be happening just later on.
Well, since Emily's bar is green, is she now a sleuth? I mean, doesn't this make everybody a sleuth?
Are we just like taking everybody?
We'll just take everybody.
Princess Peach says, I'm not a part of whatever this is, but I'm reading the second book in the Beacon Bake Shop Mysteries by Darcy Hannah. I love those so much. I think I read book 3 last month. I want to read more of that. I hope you enjoy it. You do. You need to. The blueberry pie recipe was so good. I died.
Well, because it takes place in Michigan. I love Michigan. I'm like, oh, I need to read this. And, you know, all the other books are like, hello, come read me.
I know. It's a mood reading problem.
Yes.
Grandma Susan said, I'm listening to Our Darkest Night by Jennifer Robson, World War II fiction. I hope you enjoy that. That sounds could be really interesting.
Intriguing.
Maddie says your mic, it's green. I love it. Hi, Jen. You say, hi, all. I'm reading Lore Olympus, Volume 2. Should be finished about half an hour, and then I can submit. Amazing.
I love Lore Olympus.
Is it fantasy, I'm assuming, based on the title?
Yeah, it's a graphic novel. Well, it used to be a webtoon, or is a webtoon, and then like a publisher picked it up and put it into books. I just started reading it this year because my sister-in-law got the first 5 volumes, and it's Hades Persephone retelling.
Oh, okay.
And the cartoons are just so like, the colors are so vibrant and fun, and I'm obsessed. I hate that I don't have them, like the whole series. But they are a little bit like adult themed, I will say. They're a little bit darker and heavier topic if people are looking into them.
I don't read fantasy hardly at all, but I do occasionally like a cozy fantasy or like a fairy tale retelling. I love retellings. I always love to see how authors like twist the original tale.
I think you would enjoy T. Kingfisher.
Okay.
There is I just recently read several. There was one that's a little lighthearted. It was about it was about a gingerbread man who was alive, basically, but it's like magic baker, something about magic and bakery. But there's another one called Thornhedge, and it is a retelling of Sleeping Beauty, and it's kind of a little, because I know you read thrillers, kind of got a little thrillery vibe to it. And there's several that are fairy tale retells, but a little bit darker, thrillerish. So I think you would enjoy Teen Kingfisher if you picked it up.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I've read a lot of young adult like fairy tale princess retellings in my early 20s, and I really liked those. But I gotta look into it. I do have Maddie will be excited to hear this. I have Tress in the Emerald Sea on hold at my library to pick it up because I was like, this is the most points for a sleuth pick, like almost I could possibly get. And it does sound interesting.
Yeah.
So I was like,
that's why I read it last year. That was
yes,
my
exactly.
first read last year because it was like 8 billion zillion points. I'm like, yay, I want to, I want to contribute. So I read it, but I really loved it. The audio is superb.
The audio is so good. I listened to just like the regular audio last year, but now they have the graphic audio on my Hoopla. So I do plan on re-listening so I can listen to the graphic audio because graphic audios are like my favorite. And the narrator alone did a great job. So I can only imagine what they're going to do with sound effects and a full cast.
I didn't listen to the graphic. I just listened to the regular, but I would like to listen to the graphic for that reason. The person who did the doctor's voice, I was in the floor. I was like dying laughing. I was like, oh my God, this is like, it's funny just to listen to them talk, but that character is quirky anyway. So I really enjoyed that. I think you'll enjoy Tress, Amy. I really liked it.
It sounds really good. It looks like something appealing to me. It'll fulfill like my 4 fantasy books I read a year.
Yeah. Well, it has that fairy tale vibe.
It does. I really like that. Because I liked Legends and Lattes, Bookshops and Bone Dust. I have it was by Julie Leong, I think. It was like a book of the month, and it's like the Teller of Small Fortunes or something. Yeah. I have that on my shelf to read, and I'm really excited about that because it looks very cozy and fun.
I DNF'd it.
Oh no!
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I'm still gonna try it, but
no, please don't because of me, because I get in a mood and then it's like I soft DNF'd it. I will probably go back to it. I brought it from the library. I just couldn't get into it. There was a lot going on. It just didn't see. Another one that I see kind of in that vein that I think that I've seen you pick up, Amy, is You Can't Spell Tea Without Treason, I think is the name.
Yeah, I did.
Did you like that? Because I DNF'd that too.
It felt like so much detail, and I like cozy stuff, and they go into the cozy details, but this was just like, I don't think there's a plot to this. I'm trying to, like, there was at the very beginning, but then by the time I was in the middle, I was like, I don't know what the plot is. What am I reading? I don't know.
That's kind of how I felt about Small Fortunes. It's like, I really don't know what's going on right now. I consider myself a fairly intelligent person, and if I get halfway through a book and I'm like, I still don't know what this is about, Fair
enough.
The Tea Without Treason, I DNF'd that really early because it was like the Queen or something like that. There was like and I was like, okay, that's not cozy.
That's true. It was a little graphic. I didn't mind. I was like, okay, well, it's fine.
Yeah, I just was like, this is not cozy, and I'm in a cozy mood. So, But once again, I may go back to it. I'm bad about, I'll start something and be like, okay, yeah, this is not what I'm in the mood for right now. The plight of a mood reader.
Yes, all the time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Pat is reading Fondue or Die by Karina Moss. Oh, I love it. I love that series. Hello, Simone.
I like her butterfly. That's really pretty.
No. I mean, good job, but oh no.
No.
Oh no.
I think she misspelled sleuths.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Cajun says, hi, everyone. Submitted right before the start of the masterminds.
Cajun, you're killing me. Come on. I thought we were friends.
Thank you for the reminder, Pat. Hi, Kelly. So happy to be here. I just finished a book. So hard to pick my next cozy book. I am also in the middle of Cackle, which is super interesting so far. What kind of book is Cackle? I don't think I know.
I hated that book.
I have heard so many mixed things. I have friends who DNF'd it. I had other friends that it's a 5-star book. So I have no idea.
It seems very polarizing. People either love it or they hate it. The only thing I liked about it was the spider that spoke and danced and wore a tuxedo. There's a spider in there that does that. But the plot is this woman is basically obsessed with her boyfriend. Like, she's always talking about how much, and he breaks up with her after a long amount of time, and she moves away and starts teaching in this little town. And her constant, to me, it seems very whiny and obsessive about how much she misses him, how much. And then she meets this woman, they become friends, but she's kind of strange. and there's some magic, I don't want to spoil it too much. But to me, she took one codependency and put it on another codependency. And it, and it was, to me, they were selling like feminism, and I don't know. I didn't care. I read the whole book, but I didn't care for it. There are people who do love it, that's just my opinion.
I feel like I need to put that disclaimer on like every reading book. I'm like,
me too.
My opinion. If you loved it, I'm happy for you.
Right. It breaks my heart to take somebody's hard work, because being a writer is difficult work. Take somebody that they put their heart and soul in and think that's this wonderful, whatever, and to say things like, I don't really like it. It breaks my heart to even do that. I don't even like to talk about books I don't care for on my own channel. Like I rarely even talk about a DNF on my own channel, because I'm like, just because it didn't work for me may not mean it won't work for 1,000 billion other people. But since we were talking about that book, it just wasn't my cup of tea. So
Fair.
Much like, I don't care for some, I don't care for wine either, but some people love it. So, it's, we're all different. And that's what BookTube is so fun, because I get to listen to other people talk about things either I've never read or I have a different opinion about.
Definitely. I always talk about DNFs just in my reading wrap-ups, or like if I'm reading it for a vlog. But I always try to be like, if you like this, though, like it could be like for you if you like this or something.
Right.
Just
please try it, because you love it. It just did not work for me.
Exactly.
And I'm a unique individual, so I probably like some weird things you're not going to like. So was a different strokes for different folks. I think my uncle used to say that. I
think it's a good expression. See, Bianca says, I'm reading Hounding a Killer. I love it. I hope you enjoy it so much. I want to get my hands on the second book. I need it. So, no, wait, that is the second book, isn't it? Hounding a Killer. I need to get my hands on that one so badly.
The ARC. Get an ARC. Go to NetGalley.
I gotta check.
That's how I got it.
I just got the Ellie Alexander, the new
Body in the Bookstore.
Yes.
The bookstore.
I just got that on NetGalley and I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Devin says, hi, I'm still reading The Tenant. Even though I'm not a sleuth, I'm here to support the readathon and hoping to finish my book. Yay!
That was put very nicely.
Yes.
I'm not a sleuth, but I am here to support the readathon. And you know what? I am a sleuth, and I feel the same way. I love to see people reading and working together, and I want everyone to win. So, even though I would like for the sleuths to maybe get it once.
Yes.
I want to see everyone win too. Except maybe the masterminds.
We got to at least keep the victims alive. Come on.
Yes, yeah. We need to keep people, alive if they want to be.
Amy's reading Murder by Cheesecake and listening to Malice at the Palace. Amazing. Wendy says, hi, friends. Hi, Wendy. You're starting a new secret book for my vlog tonight.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
I think she misspelled sleuths. Sleuth.
Autocorrect is so weird today.
It really is. See, Jill says, Murder in a Cup is just one of the books I'm currently reading, liking it so far. Wonderful. And Kelly says, my mom, Roz, and I are doing this sprint together in person. Oh, that's amazing.
Nice. She's a fellow sleuth.
Partners in Lime. Yay. I love the Seaside Cafe.
Me too. I binged that whole series 2 summers ago.
So awesome. Grandma Susan and Wendy, looking forward to your vlog, and go Lassies.
Grandma Susan, I love you.
I love you, but you're on the wrong team. Breezy says, I'm currently reading The Elusive Miss Polifax. I'm finished A Quiet Life in the Country on Wednesday. Loved it.
Yay.
I love that series.
Wendy. Amy, have you read Miss Polifax?
No. I need to.
If you, the book will come your way then, because I have the book, and I'm looking for a home for it. So it was gifted to me, so I'll gift it to you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You will love it.
Jennifer says, thanks, Jill. Good to know. I do agree. Them doing those sprints together is so wonderful. I think I'm going to kick us off after a few more comments, just so we can get some reading done, so people can submit their voice.
I know. I have like 20 pages, and then I get to submit.
Yes. Emily says, perfect, so I can pick up Rebel Witch again.
I loved Rebel Witch.
Pat says, be right back. Getting some iced tea for the night. Yum.
Yum. Lemon or no lemon, Pat?
That's a good question.
Okay, I just want to say I am such a rule follower, but if Maddie said it's okay, I'm going to count this as 400 pages.
I think if it's 10 or 10,
I think if it's 10 or less, I think you should be able to round up.
Yeah.
Read the back a couple of times, or reread the front, or something. Like reread the table of contents.
Oh my goodness. Bjornson said, Breezy, I love the Miss Polifax and Lady Hardcastle series. I love Lady Hardcastle so much. I can't wait to. I have the third book in my pile to read this month.
Piles of reading? Who has that?
I don't know. Certainly not us.
No, we keep up with our reading.
Totally didn't buy 5 more books this week at all.
One of my dear friends owns a used bookstore. It's dangerous.
That is really dangerous.
Dangerous.
That's a good strategy, Jill. I like that. I don't like finishing a book for the evening and not being on the next chapter. Like I like to finish the chapter. So unless I'm exhausted and they're really long chapters, I will make it to the next chapter to put my bookmark in because it drives me crazy otherwise.
Same.
Exactly.
Except for when I fall asleep with the book and my husband does it for me because I fell asleep. So,
do you fall asleep with books on your face? Because I've done that.
I fall asleep. I'll be like reading them like this, and somehow they'll kind of just like end up flopped to the side of my hand.
Or you lose your place, and then you're really hacked when you get up, and you're like, where was I? Or I will listen to a book while I'm sleeping and forget to set the timer.
Oh no!
And it the book finishes. I was like, oh my gosh, where was I at? That's like reader problems.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Kim says, I want to submit an older one, A Fashion Faux Pas from the Dog Walker Mystery by Judy McCoy. Unfortunately, she passed away. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. That's a shame. One of my favorites is Anne George, and she passed away several years ago. She does the Southern Sisters series, and that series would have went on forever if she would have, she would have survived. But she was older too, so you just.
It's hard.
Unfortunately and sadly, it does happen.
At least you can still reread their work, but knowing that you don't get new books is hard. It
is, especially when it's a series that you absolutely love.
So I like that their legacy can continue on though for new readers. That's super exciting that a part of them is always there in the book in a way. Hi Kat, you said I'm starting Hounding a Killer tonight. Yeah. Sonia, I read Bait and Swiss and loved it.
Yay! Have you read Bait and Swiss yet, Amy? Cheese Shop Mystery?
What is I'm up to every book except the very last one, which I think is Bait and Swiss, right? Yeah, I haven't read that one. I've read everything up to that point.
It's so good.
So I need to.
Have chocolate on hand.
I will. Chocolate and cheese.
Yes.
Emily says, I'm not a sleuth high school special education teacher here. I'm feeling mastermindy. That's probably good. You probably need that. I wouldn't be able to handle the chaos of teaching at all. I admire teachers so much.
It'll break you.
It would. I would hide in a closet.
No, I truly would just specifically, but I mean, it does something. 20 plus years, it does something.
I didn't imagine.
You learn to develop a sense of humor very, very quickly. You learn to be very patient very, very quickly. And hopefully, I think a lot of teachers don't do this. That's why they have, you start to struggle, but not letting things, being able to let things go is really important too. I see so many teachers that just hold on to everything, and you cannot, not that I want to get into education talk, but it is something that I teach a lot of my own teachers.
I think that'd be really hard to learn for me. I would have a hard time with that. Also, kids scare me. So I think that would be a really good reason to I
worked with kids for 22 years, and now I work with adults, and it's not different. It really isn't. It's not different. The way you approach it, the way you make connections. I don't mean that to be insulting. It's just it's really not different. You just you go in with whatever skills you have, whether that's, mine, I usually approach with a sense of humor and kind of light and fun. And, you have to make those connections. And then, it really is very similar to, I don't age range is, I could never teach kindergarten. Like I would carry a flask to school if I had to teach kindergarten, but it's teaching is teaching.
Yeah, I commend you for doing it.
Yes, thank you for doing it.
Thank you. Well, I have my job now is gravy compared to what I used to do. So I only do part-time, and I work with adults who learn English, and I work in a corporation, so they're paid to be there. So of course they're wanting to learn. But yeah, thank you. I loved being a teacher, still do.
Love it. I loved the berry pickers. I hope you
Me
do
too.
as well.
5-star.
Reading, yes, made me cry multiple times. Folk by Zoe Gilbert. Grandma Susan is laughing at Emily's not a sleuth comment. And Maddie says Amy would love Kingfisher. Okay, I will check them out. I will check them out. I think I'm gonna call us here, set us up for a sprint. I'm thinking, so we have a little less than an hour until the cutoff. So maybe 50 minutes, so everyone has time, like basically right up into that to like submit. So I'm gonna set that up with our cat timer here. If anyone is new to my sprints, I have a cat timer that's gonna be on screen in a minute, and it meows when the timer goes off. So just a heads up so that you're not, thinking a cat broke into your house or your cat's in distress or anything. If the cat meows, that's the timer. So I think I'm going to save our spot here for the comments, and yeah.
Amy, will that give you time to tabulate everything too if people are putting in their points?
It'll give us time to chat while everyone finalizes anything, and then I'll pull them and calculate on the next sprint, kind of.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're not scrambling or feeling stressed.
No, we'll have 50 minutes will be like 5 minutes to the cutoff. So if anyone wants to read, the timer will be the reminder like, hey, submit now if you haven't. And then we can chat a little bit. And then the next sprint, I will start calculating. I'm going to check on this sprint as well for anything that may have come in, because I had calculated everything up until we started. So anything else that's come in, I will add right now too.
Let's go sleuths.
Let's go sleuths.
Get reading. Happy reading, everybody. We will catch up in 50.
That's green is king. Let's go.
Yes. Go.
It got me.
Me too. I jumped out.
Sorry.
It's no problem.
How was that sprint for you, ladies?
I got finished. I submitted my points.
I saw it.
Not bad either. A little chunk of change. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yay. How was that for you,
awesome.
Sam?
I got one chapter in What the River Knows, and then, oh man, I'm so close to finishing, but there was no way I was going to get it done in time of Life's Too Short. But What the River Knows is a lot of vibes, but like nothing's really happening.
Ooh.
It reminds me of like the movie The Mummy and like Disney's Jungle Cruise. So it's got like the magic, the archaeological like aspect, the like smart feminist girl that's like exploring and all that. And then just like not a lot's happening. And I'm like, I really want to love it because I love The Mummy. I love Jungle Cruise. I love that kind of stuff. And I love the vibes of it, but there's just not a lot of like action happening. So I don't DNF books. Like it takes a lot for me to DNF just because I have to know how it ends. And I don't hate it. It's just not my favorite. I wish like she would cut out some stuff, but Life's Too Short. Abby Jimenez is one of my favorite authors for a reason. This will be the last book of her backlist that I have, and then I officially have read all of her books. So
That's always hard.
I'm excited. I'm loving it.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Can you soft DNF something like, okay, I'm not feeling this vibe right now, or I don't want to do this right now, and maybe read it later when you, because I feel like right now I don't have time for slow things. Like I have to hurry because I got to get points in.
Yeah.
But maybe this summer, or when you have a little more time.
Yeah, I will soft DNF stuff, especially if I'm just like, sometimes I'm not in a fantasy mood, which is rare. Sometimes I'm not in a super like happy mood and I want like stuff with like emotional depth, and I will like soft DNF it, but I won't. If I own a book, I will not get rid of it until I've read it.
That's fair.
You're better than me.
Yeah, I was going to say life is too short. I'm a little older than you. Life is too short to read books I do not like. I don't care about it or not.
Life is too short. But like, I just have to know. I have to know how things end. And I know you can look it up. You can find spoilers. You can do all that. But I have to know. And especially if I have the audio. If I have the audio for it, I will 100% finish it.
I tend to finish more if I have the audio.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, come on, you just have to get through. By the way, I put my green glasses on for our occasion. Because
I changed. I did.
Well, yay!
So my husband came home and I just wanted him to see, because most of the time I don't look nice and I don't wear makeup and I don't do anything. I just like, I'm a pretty plain Jane girl most of the time. So I was like, I actually look nice and I want my husband to see me. And then he was taking a long time to get home from work. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to put comfy clothes on. But I have my Mystery and Mayhem shirt from last year.
Love it.
So, it's green.
It's green.
Mine's in the wash, but I was like, okay, I can at least wear a green shirt.
So I say you're pretty, you don't need makeup. I wished I didn't need it. I need it because I things I need to cover up. You don't need to do that. Lucky you.
Yesterday, I work part-time at our local gym, and yesterday was like hectic and busy, but I had like braided my hair and then put it up in a ponytail, so it was like wavy, and I thought I looked cute. And my boss came in and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, yeah. And he's like, "You just look really tired today." And I'm like, that was rude. Like, you don't tell people that, especially women. And I didn't think I looked that bad. So,
and if you work in a gym, who wears makeup to the gym?
Exactly. I ran for 30 minutes too. I was all like sweaty and whatever. It was fine.
Girl, we are not in the same tribe.
Yeah, I'm not running. I like brisk walks.
I like a good walk, but if I'm running, someone's behind me with a knife, and you might want to run too.
Yes. That would be about it. So I had a DNF.
Oh no! I did see you weren't liking it, but
I got whole 33 pages in, which I know is really giving it a fair chance. But there are multiple points of views, and I had to keep flipping back to figure out who I was reading from. And then I had to keep reading, not just to see who the chapter's from, but the description again, because I was like, who is this person? I was like, I have no idea how any of these people relate to this description. I don't know. So it's a readathon right now. So I'm like, if I'm gonna DNF it, I'm DNFing it early, because yesterday I had a thriller that I really wanted to DNF, but I only had 50 pages left. So I powered through that for the 19 points because I was like, I'm not giving up these points, even though I normally would have DNF'd it. But this, I'm like, no, it's not worth it. So I read a little bit more of this. This is going well.
good.
I am this close to being done with Lending a Par. Like I have about 82% in. I only have this much. I was really like playing it on 2.0, like trying to get it. It just, I ran out of time.
So close. Okay, I just refreshed. Nothing else has come in, so I have a total update. So I'm going to submit that real quick in Discord to the other ladies.
Okay.
You guys can't click on comments, can you?
I don't think so.
I can.
Oh,
yeah. Do you want to go through a few comments? I'm just going to submit the numbers real quick to the other leaders so they can
If I read comments, though, I can't see all of you all. I'm on my tablet.
Okay.
So
I wonder if I can. Is there like a way to give access?
that I don't know, unless.
Not that I see you. Well.
Yeah, I'm on my tablet. I can like go to chat, but then that's the full screen, and then I can't see your screen anymore.
Okay. Well, I'll pop up this one, and we can start there. I'm just going to type these into Discord real quick for them.
Okay.
If you want to read the comments real quick or something.
All right. Pages and Chaos. Our friend Jen says, yes, I love it. And the graphics are beautiful. But yes, check trigger warnings. I got the first 3 on Pingo and Book Outlet, but there is a lot of volume. LOL. I'm not sure which book she's talking about. Do you remember?
Lore Olympus.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I'm guessing that's a book or a series you've read.
Yeah, that's the Hades Persephone graphic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the graphic.
Yeah. There are trigger warnings definitely in that book.
I gotcha.
They're beautiful.
All right. I love a beautiful graphic novel. Do you want me to continue reading?
Sure. Yes.
T. Kingfisher writes across fantasy and horror, so if you're not a horror fan, check the blurbs and reviews. I would agree. I've only read a couple, so I am no expert. But Thornhedge did have a little bit of horror, but it wasn't something that it was like. There was a little of grossness to it, I guess, but not. I wasn't scared or.
I've read some thrillers that like border a little on horror, so as long as it's just like a touch, I think I'm okay. Mm-hmm. It's when they go like supernatural, crazy slasher, clown, whatever things that I'm like, no.
I don't do clowns or cornfields. I don't like.
Yes, that when you guys talk about it, I'm like, no. I don't know what that is. I don't want to know. I'm good. I do ghost clown Scooby-Doo, and that's it.
I don't do like haunted babies. Not a fan.
Dolls.
Babies, monkeys, clowns. No, I don't
or
like
hypnosis.
I love scary stuff.
No, I love Jules Sapieces. Jules is the sweetest angel in the world. I love her so much. But when she was talking about Halloween and like her husband dresses up and does all that, like the guy from It, Pennywise, and all of that, I was like, girl, we have very different Halloweens. Very different Halloweens. Like I am Scooby-Doo, and you dress up like a fairy tale character. I mean, I usually have some costumes every Halloween. I love it too, but no, we don't do horror here. We don't do scary. No, none of that. No blood. I don't know if that's the elementary teacher in me, but we don't do that here. We watch
enough blood already.
Right. We watch The Great Pumpkin. We do Scooby-Doo scary. That's enough.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
I like that.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Hocus Pocus.
That's so funny because The Nightmare Before Christmas scared me as a child. Which then there's other like shows like Beetlejuice didn't scare me, but The Nightmare Before Christmas did. I love both. like now, but I don't understand, like, as a child, why some things scared me and other things didn't, but I like horror in books. Like, my husband loves slasher movies. No, I don't like gore. And, like, a lot of the fantasy shows have a lot of gore, and I'm like,
Yeah. Well,
no.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I mean, I love
no.
Game of Thrones, but I'm just like, can we not?
Yeah.
I don't need to see that. It's funny that you say that. I like scary weird. Like, I love Tim Burton. I
Mhm.
like what was the TV show Over the Hedge? That it is so quirky and weird, but I find it cozy. I like weird. I don't like scary. Like, if I don't jump scares, like I walked out of I Am Legend because of the zombies jumping up and scared me. I walked out of that movie. I was like, nope, it made me nothing but mad. I don't like to be jump scared.
I jump scare my husband all the time. It's my favorite thing ever.
Mine almost got stabbed doing that. He accidentally jump scared me and I had a knife in my hand and I went around like this. I was like, you almost died.
Defensive mode.
I don't like to be scared like that. I only have so many heartbeats left. I'm chubby and old. Okay, don't scare me.
I just absolutely tremble and like fidget and just jump 10 feet into the air. It's not good. Not good at all. Princess Peach says, I think the series I'll need to buy because I want to reread them already. I never reread Cozy Mysteries. You know, a book is good if you want to reread it.
Yes.
Darcy Hannah's good.
Yes.
Jill says, I've seen The Berry Pickers at Barnes & Noble. How is it? It's good.
5 stars. I read it. I closed it. I immediately drove to my friend Carmen's yarn shop. I handed it to her and said, you have to read this. It was that good.
I cried twice.
I think I did that too.
Just like, okay, hit me there.
It was so, it's her first novel. Like this is her first book. And it was incredible.
Wow.
It was so good.
It was so deep. That's really impressive. Let's see. Cozy Fam Bam says, Happy Friday. I'm working late tonight, but want to say hello, and I'm repping Masterminds.
I loved her for a minute. I'm kidding. I am kidding.
We're saying hello. Hello. Jill, I'm just starting it. Hi, Betsy.
Hi, Betsy.
I'll take the first sentiment.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. You misspelled sleuth.
I said Berry Pickers was an easy 5, very beautifully written. Right.
Agreed.
Just tugged at you in every way. Good job at Cajun. Betsy's going to be reading It's Watching by Lindsay Curry tonight.
Nice.
Maggie loves Cackle.
There you go.
Cajun says, I was trying to beat that deadline. Yes.
I feel you.
Had my audiobook. For me, this is very fast. 1.5. I usually listen to them at 1.3, which I realize is very slow for most people.
No, I usually listen between 1.3 and 1.5 depending on the pentameter of the narrator's voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if I get to 2, it's like my brain starts going, and that's where I was at. I'm like,
see, I know some people who listen to it at 3, and I'm like,
I'm at a 3. If I have the book in front of me and I can tandem listen and read, I'm at 3. Otherwise, I'm at I like 1.75 just to enjoy it. But if I'm trying to get through it quickly, I can do 2.5. Now my husband, he's like 3's too slow, and I'm like, well, that's great for you. He can he's a speed reader, and I will quiz him and I'll be like, what did this happen? And who said this? And he knows it all. And I'm like, that's an unfair advantage that I would love to have in life.
Agreed.
Wow. I'll have to try it with tandem reading with the audio faster, because I think I could do that, because I eyeball read very quickly.
Me too.
But audiobooks, I just started listening to last fall. That was the first time I was actually able to follow an audiobook. For the first time in years. I tried and couldn't do it. Finally got into it. So 1.3 is my normal
You're working up.
Speed.
You're working up.
I'm working on it. Although I did start 4-Leaf Felony by Tonya Capez, and I saw a lot of comments. She has it on YouTube on her channel, so you can listen to it for free because it's like she gets the ad revenue and stuff, which is awesome. I don't know who narrates it, but they talk the slowest I've ever heard anyone. And I heard all the comments were like, I had to put this at 1.5 just for it to sound like a normal speed because they talked so slowly and they were Southern. So it's kind of that Southern drawl maybe, but it was really slow. Like I was like, I actually had to put it to 1.5 and that's like the fastest I've ever put
I
an
noticed
audiobook
if they
at.
have a British accent, I have to slow it down.
Same.
Because I
Yeah, I
have
could see that.
I have to kind of, okay, you know, and I teach people who speak different languages. So I, you know, most of the time I can understand English through an accent, but there's something about like British speak. I'm just like, oh gosh, I got to slow that down a little bit. There's no way I'm going to catch everything.
I could see that. I feel like if I had to listen to like a New Jersey accent or even a New York accent, because I'm not super used to that, I would maybe need it to be a little bit slower too, possibly. I don't know. My Little World says, has anyone read or audioed The 9 Lives Magic by Danielle Garrett? I haven't. Anyone else maybe? Hi, April. You say, hey, ladies, reading Scarlet by Marissa Meyer.
I just finished that.
Ooh.
I just finished that, and it's wonderful for, you know, a sleuth, nice and green, and it's a favorite of Maddie's. So
I have it.
Love it.
I'm on hold. I should get it sometime next week because I've listened to Cinder last year and I really liked it. I thought it was really cute, so I'm excited for the next one.
I started Cinder before April was finished, and then read the entire series in like 4 days.
That's awesome.
You know you love it then.
Well, my husband was like, I don't think you're having a good time. You seem to be kind of stressed. And I was a little bit stressed because I wanted to know, first of all, I wanted to get the points, but secondly, I wanted to know what's going to happen. So every minute I had either the audio going, I had both the audio and the book, or I'm reading it somewhere. And he's like, I don't think you're having a very good time. Maybe you should be reading this. I was like, I need you to be quiet because you're interrupting me. I stayed up till like 5 in the morning one time, like finishing, I think was Crest that I stayed up till like 5 in the morning. It was, but it was so good. I wanted to know what was going to happen. That was my problem. And I wanted to get the points, but I wanted to know what was going to happen. I really enjoyed the series.
I will prepare myself that I'm going to have to continue.
Yes, you need to continue because you need to find out what happens. But I would say out of all of them, I think Cinder was my favorite.
Yeah,
that's fairy tale based, by the way. Amy, if you know, I know you don't read sci-fi, but if you want to like maybe stick your toe in sci-fi a little bit, it's really a good one to do because it's, you know, Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, what is Cress's Rapunzel, and then the last one is Snow White. So
I love Snow White.
But it's sci-fi. It's like,
okay,
take fairy tale, but make it sci-fi. Kind of take fairy tales, add a little Star Wars, maybe an ounce of Twilight. You got it. I'm cooking.
I'm intrigued. Let's see. Matt says Hannah loves cackle, makes me interested. Cajun says, I expected Trees and Latte to be a lot more cozy than I found it.
Thank you. Me too.
I thought it would be more along the lines of Legends and Lattes. Yes, that's what I was hoping for. And not quite. Plus, I found it to be a lot more romance heavy, which I'm just not a romance reader. So it just was like, okay, not really interested. Sorry. Ordy Sparrow says, I'm reading Left for Dead by J.M. Griffin. I love that book. I hope you enjoy it. Hi, fellow sleuths. Woo! I'm almost finished with Ellie Alexander's new book, A Body at the Book Fair. It's the last book in the series. I hope you love it. I just got approved for that in NetGalley, and I can't wait to read it. Simone's reading it, Death by Chocolate Lab, and an older, vintage cozy called Town in a Strawberry Swirl. Ooh, I haven't heard of that, but I like how you put that.
I have.
What a fun
I've not read
title.
it, but I've heard of it. Oops.
I like the title.
That is cute.
Breezy is, I almost forgot to submit points for the books I finished today. National Velvet. We're in mixed company, so I won't say how I submitted them. Secrets. I'm going to do a few more comments, and then we actually do have an announcement.
Oh, geez.
So
this was the one.
Yes. I want to read that.
Yeah.
It looks so fun. It's like slightly supernatural, right? Like there's like
I think
a
it has
little
like
bit
smattering in it. Yeah.
Just a little. That's like my level of supernatural typically.
I need to read all of these today.
I want to see if we can get to where we are at least caught up on this round's comments, because I feel bad. The Cozy Fan Bam says the ending at the last Seaside Cafe book is absolute perfection. I sobbed.
Yes.
I have 2 more books. I can't wait to read it.
Oh, agreed. It was so, to me, and I know somebody who disagrees with me, but to me it was like the perfect way to, when you leave a series, you kind of like your heart breaks, because these are people that you've been invested with for 8, 10, 12, 15, however many books.
Oh, yeah.
And to be able to leave this series and know that everyone is okay, everyone is taken care of, good things have happened,
Yes.
I don't want to spoil it, but you know what I mean? Good things have happened. It brought me a lot of peace. It was like, oh, so I know that little world is okay. I don't have to rescue it by reading about it, and I can move on to something else.
That's making me look forward to it. I saved the last 2 books in that series because I want to read them this summer.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also dreading finishing it because I love
Yeah.
it. But that makes me feel better about it.
Did you try any of the tea recipes that were in there?
I don't actually drink iced tea, really.
Oh, the blackberry one that you make with like blackberry mash. Oh my gosh.
That sounds pretty good though.
Oh, it's so good. I couldn't live where I live and not drink iced tea. I'd get thrown out.
I'll try if I visit the South. I will try it, like proper iced tea. Princess Peach says, I have some baby birds that hatched a few days ago on my porch. I've been watching the mama bird take care of them and being really quiet when she's in the nest. They are so cute.
I love that.
Sweet. We have all these baby bunnies. She did.
I did. My husband and I went to Grant's farm, and the Anheuser-Busch is a big corporation here with all of the beer. That it's their family home, but they have a huge farm there, and it's opened up. It's very public. It's been open since the 1960s. And my Dan and I went into a bird apiary, and they will come, like you're with all of the parakeets, and they come and like land on your head and stuff. My poor husband was mauled. He has spot pockmarks where they made him bleed. I mean, it was pretty intense that here he is with the birds on his head.
Oh my gosh.
And they just land right on you, as you're
That's crazy.
They were everywhere. There's probably 100 birds in there.
Wow.
Very, very loud. It was cool, but after a minute I'm like, I'm getting bit to death, like, everywhere. It was crazy. It was fun.
Sounds like too much.
It was a lot. Like in this picture here, there was a white bird there that kept biting my finger. I'm like, quit doing that. Because you don't want to hurt them,
No.
but I don't want to be bit either.
That's the start of a villain era right there.
Yeah. Well, I thought, okay, I'm going to video this. And I was like, I'm even going to do a little, like Snow White and have the birds and stuff. No. It was quite too intense. Yeah, because I had them on my fingers, and when you want to have your fairy tale moment, it just doesn't work out.
It's a bummer. Let's see. Emily says, don't listen to them, Grandma Susan. You're on the right team. It's a matter of opinion.
Emily doesn't know she's on the wrong team, too.
Alex says, that's really good to know. Emily says, hi, everyone. I'm reading Murder by Cheesecake, and it's so quirky and fun, having a good time. Oh. Amazing. Cajun put back a book because it was 149 pages. I would do that, too. Yep.
I did that as well.
Emily's off to submit for the masterminds. Cozy Fam says, yes, at Cajun, I'm saving all my shorter books for June and graphic novels. Celebrating Emily's submission. Hi, Chrissy. Cajun says, I'm one that has to finish chapters 2 before stopping all the way. Like, it just bothers something inside of me.
Do people not do that?
Some people don't seem to mind. Like, I know people who will stop in the middle of the page and, like, just finish there. And I'm like,
I can't do that.
Okay, you need to at least finish the page. Like, how can you?
That's like stopping in the middle of a sentence.
Exactly. It drives me crazy. I don't know how. She said, just finished 3rd book in the Antique Book series by Laura Gale Black. Amazing. And Emily likes the Snoopy behind you, Sonia.
Oh,
it's your spirit animal.
It's my telephone.
That's so cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, back when I was a child, in the 1980s, we had phones that were characters. This is called a telephone for those of you who only know what these are. But yeah, this was my phone.
You know what's the craziest phenomenon that I think is just amazing is kids nowadays, when you ask them to hold a phone up, they'll do this or instead of this.
Right.
And it's like, what?
Yeah. My nephew, every time he walks through here, he's the one that mows my grass. He'll come by and he'll go, that feels weird. This is weird.
Oh.
And I'm like, first of all, child, I should have drowned you when you were little. Second of all, I said, it's just weird because you didn't get to experience. He's also fascinated by the fact I have my brother passed away in 2005, and I have his truck, which was in 97, and it has an ashtray in it. And I always pull it because I don't smoke. I pull it out and I stick my cell phone in it. He's like, it's really cool. These old trucks come with cell phone holders.
Not quite.
Bless your heart. He's pretty. He's not, not always smart. And I'm just like, baby, that's, and then just like his mouth hit the ground, he's like, people smoked in their cars. And I was like,
people smoked everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, airplanes, doctors.
The doctor that was holding my brother was smoking as he was talking to us and holding my brother.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, and that was 1979. So, yeah. I mean, I was really, really small, really little, but still. All the time.
It's so weird to think about. Yeah.
I remember walking through school and smelling cigarette smoke as we walked by the teacher's lounge because the teachers smoked in there. Mm-hmm. The year I graduated high school, they outlawed smoking in the school. So 1992, I know that Amy probably wasn't born yet.
That's when I was born.
That was when you were born. That's when I graduated high school.
A few years later.
A few years later. I don't even think you were. I think you were born my first year teaching.
96.
Yeah.
There we go.
Look at these milestones.
I know, right?
Let's see. It says leaving work at work is sometimes a challenge, but kids are people who just want to be seen and play up the fact that I'm not hip with the lingo that they use. I have never been hip with the lingo at any age in my life, so I'm just doomed. That's basically.
No, baby, you're just gonna be you, and that's the best gift ever.
I'll just be me.
Make up your own words. Make up your own words. Eventually, it'll catch on.
Eventually, Christina.
Hello.
Just reminding everyone to snack, laundry. Thank you for the laundry reminder. I gotta do that.
Yeah, same.
Do a couple more. We got lots of Let's Go Sleuths. Hearts. Hope you're having a great night. I think we're almost at least at 5:00. Here we go. Princess Peach is now reading Murder at the Blueberry Festival. I love this series. Me too. I'm so glad you're loving it. Jules, hello friends, jumping in late. I'm not reading tonight, hanging with the hubs and playing my Switch, but I'll be here for the chats. Amazing.
Awesome.
Hope you have fun. Hi, Cajun. Okay, so I'm going to go and make the announcement. I'm going to pull up the Discord on one side of my window so that I can make sure I'm not like messing up reading off points if this thing will. Do I have tech issues with Discord? Yes, I do. Okay, here we go. So we do this by averaging the group amount of people who are, submitting for the period of time. So unfortunately, the Sleuths were in the last place, third place. Yeah, on our own night. The Lassie, so we had the Sleuths had 44.58 as our average to show you how close everything is. The Lassies were at 46, which means the Masterminds win. And I think they had 49, I want to say 49.2.
But the victim was a mastermind.
It was.
They took out their own person.
They did take out their own person. So
our first victim.
And it's their own. Yes. So there was quite a bit more sabotaging this round. The Sleuths actually got a fair amount of sabotaging. The Lassies did. The Masterminds did. The Sleuths, we lost 76 points in total for sabotage. Masterminds lost 58. I think 50 sabotage points for the lassies, something like that.
So we were sabotaged the most.
I think we were actually, which surprises me. I really thought the lassies
I thought so too. We haven't
would be sabotaged the most because they keep winning.
Right.
So I'm gonna let's see where I think I just lost wherever I was. Oh boy. I'm gonna go ahead and just start where I was at and go down to reactions to this right now. Let's see. So the masterminds are the winners. I wish I could say congrats, but you just took an innocent life. So
yeah. Shame on you.
Are you proud of yourselves?
Let's see.
Oh, Tiffany is now blowing up my phone.
Oh no. Of course she is. Let's see where there are so many comments. Let's see, where is everybody? Down. Drum roll, anticipations. Yes, I know. I've submitted 9 books so far this month, and it is May 9th. And I submitted 4 for this last period, and I was like, all right, did really good. And we did really good. We had more people than before who submitted. Like, we were doing so good. I thought we were going to take it.
I've submitted 7 this month. I don't know what else to do.
Well, I'm slacking.
Somebody says, do you read longer books?
I'm in the middle of like 4 too. So like,
right.
Boy, when she puts those in, though, that's gonna just carry us ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Wendy said, I had a feeling it was coming. Congratulations. That is what masterminds do. That is. A win is a win. Right? I thought everyone would sabotage the lassies as well.
I really did think that we were all right in that, as far as, because I was like, okay, we're under the radar. They're not going to hit us, Well,
I think, was it last time we were second place? I think we were, masterminds at the bottom. We were second. I think lassies won. So it really...
Well, but you had the lassies at the top, so I figured people, the masterminds would be like hitting the lassies, and they would just kind of take each other out. It's kind of like dogs,
right.
Let the 2 top dogs take each other out.
I was gonna say, but how much you want to bet? Watch them come after us again, because they're gonna be like, oh, they're gonna come back now, and watch us come after us again. It's gonna get competitive, guys.
Yeah,
I'm competitive.
Oh, man.
No, this is crazy week for me, so I'm gonna be low key this week. I'm sorry.
I will pick it up for you.
Thank you. My boys graduate, so I am busy all week.
That's so awesome, though. Maybe people realize sabotaging the lassies wasn't working. I guess so. Wendy says, I didn't sabotage anyone. I held on to my points.
Why?
Same. I have not sabotaged anyone up to date.
I don't believe that, though. I don't know why. I love you, Wendy, but I don't believe that.
Tara says, so proud. Tara says, I never take from other teams. I'm too nice. Help.
Same.
Yeah. I feel bad. And I'm like, well, if we just keep collecting points and like it'll off. Apparently it's not working though. So. Maggie says, all right, Sleuths, it's still early. We got this. Yes.
Yeah, still early.
Yes. Chris says, Sam, when you submit, you're going to submit hard.
Y'all better watch out.
Take it out.
If you guys saw my Libby right now, you'd all be scared.
Sam's going to be our secret weapon.
Not secret because I'm blabbing my mouth all over the internet, but
He says, I'm working on my 3rd book, but will give us 59 points. It's a big one.
I submitted 2 50-point books in the first week.
That's nice. I've had some 40-point ones, but I'm going more for quantity because I tend to read shorter, fast-paced books. So that's my like how many short, fast-paced, fun books that I want to read fast have greener nature covers and covers.
Yeah. Like I don't know if it's better to do that or if it's better to stick with, because two of my books were almost, I think, over 800 pages. It's like, is the 800 page books bringing me more points. Is that good? Or if I read 3, that equals, 20, 40, 60 instead of, It's stressing me out.
I think for me, it's like whatever is going to make me want to keep reading really fast.
That too.
So I think the momentum helps, and just like DNFing things aggressively. That I'm like, no,
If it's something I got
read
much brain power in, I don't have any time for that.
Exactly. You are doing great. Wendy says, I know Sam's going to have like 200 points next turn. Yes.
Carry it, girl.
Oh, no, Tiffany. Now we have to listen to Tiffany. Zoe says, hi, just joining. Guess it's time to crack down my reading this weekend to help with Sleuths. Yes. Bianca's returning to bed now. It's 3 a.m. Just have to get some sleep to be able to read. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, she's in Germany, isn't she?
Oh, wow. Yes.
Rest well. Have a great evening.
Zoe says, I have some longer fantasy books I could always read. Mm-hmm. And Karina, Wendy is DNF'd for. This is my first DNF of the month. Would have been my second, but I only had 50 pages left, so I was like, okay, just get the points. But yeah, I think DNFing quickly can help if you're feeling sluggish with it. Tiffany straight cut someone in her video for real. Yes, she did post a video that you'll have to watch. And it's something else. Mm-hmm. Wendy says, actually 5. All right, I'm going to go back up because I think we're caught up on current comments.
I do love the competition and the banter with everybody. It's so fun.
Yes, it really, really is.
I mean, it'd be more fun if we didn't lose every single one, but, True.
And then the masterminds are over there, like, with these scary gifs of people, like, chasing with knives, and I'm, like, Scooby-Doo moving over here, like, this is more my pace. I'm not chasing someone with a knife. Emily says, hey, everyone, happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. Yay. Excited to read with you all tonight. Chrissy says, Princess Peach, I love Darcy Hannah. I started reading that one, but decided to save it for June. I'm doing a little blueberry theme for my TBR.
Cute.
That sounds so fun. And you're asking if anyone's read Ellie Alexander's Secret Bookcase Mystery Series. Yes. I'm caught up on it. There's a new one coming out this summer that I want to read, but otherwise I love it. Caught up on it.
I read the first one. I did really enjoy it. I think I gave it 4 stars. It does have a continuing mystery that goes through it. And that was the only thing that kept it from being 5 stars for me, because I like things to be cut up in a bow and be done when the last book is done. And
see, I like the continuing mystery.
I want to know what's going to happen, and then it's which usually encourages binging, which I'm surprised I didn't binge this third bit. I will read it though. I'm planning to read it.
It says yes, Chrissy. It's fantastic. Wendy read 0. Christy says, I'm going to be starting the first book tonight. I hope you enjoy it. I really liked the first book.
I did too.
Kathy has the Murder at the Blueberry Festival checked out. I can't wait to start reading it. And then I hope to make a Blueberry Festival in Michigan this year.
Nice.
I want to go. I want to go to one. Sounds
we have a blueberry farm, that like a U-pick blueberry farm. We have the pumpkin festival in our town, so we don't have that. And the town north of me is the sugar festival, but I haven't been to a blueberry festival.
I live in a town where we have a festival every weekend. So if it is,
I love that.
You name it, we're gonna have it. Barbecue festival, beer festival, bacon festival, wine festival, art festival, book festival. We have a festival for everything.
It's like Stars Hollow.
It kind of is a little, yes, there's a festival for everything. But it's funny because the people who live here are like, oh gosh, we're so festival out. But everybody else, people come in for, like, there's no locals at these festivals. Mm-hmm. We're all like,
it's all tourism.
It's all tourism. But we do have a really, kind of charming downtown feel. And, we're right on the river. And so people love that. And we're a train town, so people can ride a train. They can go celebrate. Wine festival, then take their, buzzing selves back on the train and go back home,
Yeah, I don't know why, like Michigan, it's like every town, they could be like a tiny town that has like 20 people in it, but each town has like their own thing, and then they all like rotate. So you go to a different town every week to celebrate all the stuff. Like, there's a potato festival, a bean festival. Those are all just around me.
Yeah, we went to
a bean festival? Like pinto beans?
Well, it's like dry beans and like navy beans and like specialty like heritage type. My cousin was actually the bean queen. And her mom was the bean queen like when she was younger. And yeah, you had like farmers grow like these specialty beans, and then if you're part of a family that grows it, you can get a scholarship. Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's
Michigan
cool.
is Michigan is so heavy in agriculture, though. I love that.
we're the second most diverse in agriculture, just second to California.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
My job prior to what I do now was all agriculture. I come from a dairy farm.
That's very cool.
Awesome.
I come from a cattle farm.
I love cows.
I don't have anyone with a green thumb in my whole family. Pretty sure.
I don't.
Or any musical talent. Andrea says Team Sleuths finished third bookmobile cat mystery earlier today. Now listening to Aunt Dimitri and the Heart of Gold. Ooh.
I'm really enjoying the bookmobile cat.
Yes.
I
really need to continue it. I'm sorry the cat scared you. I'm sorry. I try to warn people. But I love the visual like countdown because I don't know. I find that very motivating to have that countdown.
Same.
It's just it's a very realistic cat sound. Like it sounded like my cat was like right in front of me.
I don't even own a cat, and I'm looking around for one. So
it does. Emily says, no reading done. Submitted my books, switched out laundry, and hung 2 loads to dry, and updated my reading planner to reflect the finished book. I will head back to Queen of Shadows the next sprint.
I'm also reading Queen of Shadows. Not right now, but it's one of my many books I'm also reading.
I'm sure Emily's book has like 75 billion zillion pages because she doesn't read anything unless it does.
Yeah, Queen of Shadows is like this thick.
Yes, she likes door stoppers. I love that about her, except Blue Barbarians, and we'll talk about that at another time because she's the one that got me reading those. I blame her.
Meow.
Meow.
Tiffany says, hey all, hey masterminds. Hey Tiffany. We're not very happy with you guys right now. You took away a beautiful booktuber. We didn't save them, and we're sorry.
I think that we all should get extra points. I think the Sleuths and the Lassie should get extra points because now we have to attend a funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need some points so I can get something to wear because I don't have anything to wear.
Glenda says, hi, everyone. Jill says, you're echoing. Do you know which one of us, Jill, by chance?
I didn't notice either one of you echoing.
I don't know. Emily says, I don't hear an echo here. Okay. I don't know. We'll keep an eye out.
Right.
Hiya, Tiffany. Liz says, keep reading. Sam, I just finished What the River Knows this week.
Okay. That's 2 people now. I have faith. I'm enjoying it. I just am waiting for, the build up to actually happen.
Yes. Emily says, I joined late but got 20 pages in. That's awesome. Liz is reading What the Library Hides at the moment.
That's the second one to, I think, What the River Knows. I think it's a duology, if I'm correct. I own the second one.
Set up. Jill says, hi, Tiffany. Grandma Susan said, I'm at 55%, switching over to As Sure as the Sea by Jamie Ogle, biblical fiction. You are flying through your books. Kim says, I'm embarrassed to ask this. How do I submit? I'm so technically challenged. As my husband says, it's part of my charm.
I'll show you.
Maddie answered too. She says, Kim, if you look on the Discord under your team section, there's a submit channel. Click on that and scroll up to the link to submit points. And then you just kind of fill out the information about the book.
Yeah, there's a Google document that you'll click on.
Right. You're going to go straight to where it says submit points here. It's in your Discord. And click on that, and then you'll scroll up to the top.
Or you can hit the pinned one on ours. We have it pinned too, like the little push pin. And the link should be pinned too.
Okay. But for people who are technically challenged, it's easier for me to find a pin. I'd be like, I don't know where that is, but I just continue to scroll up until I get to the top where you submit your points, and then where it says welcome to submit, and then just hit the Google Doc and then answer the questions there.
Jill read 31 pages of Farm to Trouble by Amanda Flower. I really want to read that series. It looks really good.
Enjoyed it.
Tiffany finished There's No Murder Like Show Murder earlier today. It's the first book in the Backstage Cozy Mystery series. You loved it. 4 cups of coffee. Ooh. Yeah, I gotta read that series too. Glenda's asking, do you all like Groundhog Day tropes? I soft DNF a very high number. I'm with you, Sonia. I'm 75 and I stick with Evelyn Hardcastle in The Bitter End. Never again. I'd say I don't typically like it. I've tried to read some thrillers that kind of had that, where you have to like play out the same scenario, and I was just like, I get very bored.
Yeah, it's not my favorite, but I have read books that had it that I enjoyed. So it really depends on how like repetitive it is and like how quickly it changes up. But it's normally not my go-to. Like if I hear that a book has that, then I'm not gonna rush to read it, but I won't turn it down either. I have to be in that mood. I have to be like okay with it being repetitive.
I feel like it's like love triangles. I really don't like love triangles, but if I hear it's like a mystery and there is a love triangle in it, and I'm like, okay, I'll see. Like if it's too prominent, maybe I won't. But if it's just a little bit, okay.
I can handle like a short-term love triangle.
Like
I
one
get
book.
that. Yeah, with one book. I get that. You moved, of course you're new in town. You move to a new town. You meet a couple of handsome guys. You start to talk to them. You get a little interested. You're single. Hey, that might be fun. I get that. But the ones that are like over 2 books is too much to me. It's like, okay, you know what? Pick a horse and go to the race. All right, I don't like that at all.
I love Jen McKinley's cozy mysteries, but a lot of them have long like love triangles, and they're like many books. And I'm just like,
there was one love triangle that made absolutely no sense. I was like, how can you think you have feelings for somebody who is completely something you don't like when you got this punk over here that loves you?
Dude, I don't understand this. Go on a date with each one. That should help a little bit, right? I don't. But then again, I've only dated one guy, like my husband. So maybe I'm just like really, I don't know.
Okay, well, I have almost 3 marriages under my belt. So like it does, yeah. Sometimes you have to get to know people, and sometimes, and people are different. What is I know some people who could like date multiple people, like date as in like this is my boyfriend, but 2 or 3, I could not do that. To me, I'm dating someone. It's kind of like, being at the buffet, you sample a little bit, whatever, you decide what you want. That's what dates are about, But
I agree. Tiffany started Bait and Swiss. I'm jealous. I'm excited for you.
I didn't realize that she hadn't read that yet.
Cajun says, I always hold out hope it will get better. Plus, I want to know who done it since I read a lot of cozies. Yes. I think this is when we were talking about DNFs earlier. And yes, I want to know who did it. I feel like I DNF thrillers more aggressively and also rate them more aggressively because the ending and the twist can just ruin the whole book for me. And like, that's it. Whereas a cozy, it's usually like, okay, even if I don't like the ending, I probably enjoyed the ambiance and the characters. And like, there's more, there's more redeemable stuff. Whereas a thriller, I'm like, this completely just, the whole book makes no sense now. Thank you.
If I'm DNFing a mystery, either cozy or non, I read the last 2 chapters. I want to know who did it. I want to know who did it, but I'm bored and I don't want to hear all of the mumbo jumbo in the middle of it. I just want to know what's going to happen, and I will just zoom right to the last chapter and read it, and then go, okay, yeah, all right, move on.
That's a good point. I'll look up sometimes the thriller ending if I'm like, let's just see how this goes. And there's been a couple times where I've looked it up and I'm like, I am so glad I didn't read 200 more pages of this for that, because I would have just not been happy.
Right.
Glenda's crashed the party. Tiffany says, enough of the green sleuth talk. You're on our
I was gonna say, you're on a sleuth sprint, honey.
Jill says, never mind, didn't realize I left this running on my other tablet. Oh, so the echo. Okay, that makes sense. Good thing I was like, I don't hear an echo. Okay, I'm glad that was solved. Bianca says, oh, Tiffany is sad having chosen the wrong team. Fighting words.
I am never going to hear the end of this if they win. I am never, ever going to hear the end of this if we win.
I would rather the Lassies win.
Same.
I know I'm not supposed to root for another team, but if we don't win, then at least let it be the Lassies. Because at least they're trying to save people too. So at least we're kind of on the same like wavelength.
Right.
Of like good guys. Andrea dropped her boys off at a 2-hour Nerf war. Lock in at the library. That sounds amazing.
Ooh, I don't want to be the one running that though.
I was gonna say.
Princess Peach is training for her first 5K. I'm nervous. Congratulations, though. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
I am training for my first half marathon. So
oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, I haven't. The farthest I've ever run was a 10K, and that was 10 years ago. So what's a half marathon?
My idea of marathon is
Sam.
My idea of marathon is Netflix, episodes. Binging a whole Netflix season. That's marathon.
I'm only doing it because it's a Disney one. And I was
one.
My April and I are hoping to do it together. From 'Tis So Sweet, she has done them in the past. I have family who has done them, and I'm a Disney gal, and I'm like, this is going to motivate me to run. If you get to see characters and do all that fun stuff, I just want to do it at least once in my lifetime. Then we'll see if I continue to do it.
So cool.
I wish you
would
see
pictures.
Yeah, take pictures.
Oh, are you going to dress up as a character, like a color? Like I know some people do the color, like character thing.
Yeah. So we haven't even registered yet because registration isn't until June. So next month. Mm-hmm. I heard it's as hard as getting tickets for the Eras tour to get registered. So we've just started training, just to get ready for it. But it's not until February of 2026. But that's the goal. It would be the Disney Princess Marathon. And then closer to the race date, they will tell you what each race is themed after, so who the princesses will be, and so then we will be decked out, and I can't wait.
I want to see the pictures.
I'm hoping that we get in. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get in. So
who is your favorite Disney princess? If it was a certain one announced, would you be lose your mind?
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas. Oh, that's awesome. That's not one you hear very often, but that's awesome.
She's my favorite. I have a Pocahontas Loungefly bag here. I have it's just everything about Pocahontas. And Grandmother Willow is one of my all-time favorite characters. And my grandparents have a huge willow tree in their front yard of their farm. That's where I got married and everything. But I don't know. Pocahontas is my favorite. It has been since I was a child.
I love that.
I would die. I waved at her because I went right after COVID. She went by on a boat at Animal Kingdom, and I waved, and then I cried.
That's so funny. I have some OG merch from when the movie first came out. Mm-hmm. I have some pins that they released at Disney when they have so cool. When you do this, the liquid drops, and it has beans and really natural type stuff in it. I've had them forever, and that's neat. I'm glad that you don't hear that much. People usually say the same, Army of 5 princesses. So I love that you love Pocahontas. Merida is my favorite, and I dressed as Merida for Halloween last year. And when I said, told kids, well, do you know who Merida is? And they never heard of her. And I'm like, how can you not know Merida?
Okay, people didn't know who I was. I should say kids didn't know who I was when I dressed up as Daphne from Scooby-Doo, and my heart broke a little bit. I was like, I'm looking at the parents what are you doing to your children? Where's the Scooby-Doo education?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's mothers are not raising them right. I would have had conversation with them. You need to start showing your kids good stuff.
Basically, I think I'm gonna do 5 more minutes of comments, and then maybe we'll do one more sprint. I think we have so many comments. I'm trying to get through them, but Doug says masterminds all the way, baby. The lost coffee mug is going down. You guys have to watch the video on Discord. It's Tiffany did well. You're saying Tiffany Bait and Swiss came in for me at the library today. Amazing. Clowns are scary. Jewel says the scarier the better. No. Jill says, I don't do horror either. You can come hang out with me, Jill. My best friend is Dingo. I read Clown in a Cornfield. I'm planning on going to the theater tomorrow alone. Husband is out of town.
I'll do the theater alone, but I'm not doing no clowns or no cornfields.
Yeah. You have fun. Ellie said, I have never seen The Nightmare Before Christmas or Beetlejuice. Okay, I haven't seen Beetlejuice, but I really love The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh my gosh, I love Beetlejuice. The only broken part of my body I've ever gotten was in a cornfield. I broke my pinky finger in a cornfield.
Oh, geez.
Did someone like fall on it or?
I did.
Oh, sorry.
No, we were doing things we shouldn't have been doing when I was in high school. We were running through a cornfield to get away, and I tripped because cornfields have ruts. And I tripped and fell, and when I fell on my pinky finger, and I went that way. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We still didn't get caught, though.
Mission accomplished. Kara says, hello, Sam. Sam is on sprints.
I'm awake. Normally I go to bed at 8 p.m. Eastern right now with my husband's like work schedule. So I go to bed.
You need to go.
No, he actually doesn't have work tomorrow. So
you can always, I understand. I'm an early person too, and I'm like 3 hours behind you. So I get that. Glenna says, I hate Halloween, but I love Beetlejuice. Emily loves horror and scary, but loves kids' Halloween movies like Hocus Pocus and Coraline.
I love Hocus Pocus and Coraline.
I love Hocus Pocus.
Amok.
So much fun. Cozy Fan Bam. My twin is a spooky little heart and is planning to be Ghostface for Halloween. Ooh. Sleuths with Cynthia says, hi, everyone. Hello. Bianca says that Tiffany, there's no way the lost coffee mug is going down, but I liked your Georgia video today. Kitten says, horror is fine, gore is fine, zombies are not, can't do them, everything else is fine. I prefer psychological horror though, jump scares make me roll my eyes. Jump scares give me like absolute heart attack, like I just can't breathe, and then I sit there on the edge of my seat the entire movie like, when is the next thing gonna happen?
They make me mad. I'm gonna take my earrings out, we're gonna fight in the street, because I don't like to be hot, I don't like to be scared, I don't like to be hot either, but I don't like to be scared.
Yes.
Like that sudden they're going.
I love it.
Karina says, y'all are preaching. Sam and I talk about this all the time. I don't mind violence to get a point across, but everything nowadays, especially HBO, just goes one step too far every time.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a lot of it's shock value instead of actual, like, adding to whatever the story is, which
I agree with that.
A shame. Amy says, hi, ladies. I'm just joining in. Hi, Amy.
Yeah.
Chrissy says, I can only do some horror. Can't do the absolutely scary stuff. Annabelle creeps me out, so that's a no-go. Jill says, my husband and I saw What Lies Beneath when it was in theater. I kept covering my eyes and watching through my fingers and jumping in my seat. Ooh.
I liked that movie.
I haven't seen it.
Sometimes I think watching scary movies at the theater is worse though, because you have other people making noises. You have to keep quiet. Like you have to watch, like you don't want to be on your phone and like doing all that stuff. Like I think watching at the theater is so much scarier than watching at home.
Agreed. And there's no like light, like in the, like ambient light maybe, or just your cozy blanket at home.
Mm-hmm.
But it has popcorn there and it's delicious.
It's true.
It's true. That is true.
My nephew works at the movie theater, so yeah. I know the popcorn well.
Tiffany says, Bianca, we shall see, and thank you. Amy says, I'm reading Berry Pickers this month for a book club. I hope you love it. And Wendy says, all right, well, now y'all have one to read at the Berry Pickers. Emily says, do it, Wendy. It's so well written and a powerful story. Yes.
Agreed.
Bianca says, I like this mastermind accent. Breezy says, Cress was my favorite, but loved the whole series. Karina said Cinder was my fave too. I think we're the minority. However, I recently picked up Winter, but 5 years later without a reread and had to DNF.
Yeah, Winter rubbed me wrong a lot. To me, she was hard to like because I like female characters who don't wait to be saved, or she just seemed like she was always. I don't know. I didn't care for that part, but eventually she kind of, But I like strong. Like, I don't need a man or you to take care of me. I've got this. I like that.
Merida.
Like Merida.
Mm-hmm. I love Merida.
I'll be shooting from my own hand. That's literally every time.
I love it. And then when she releases the arrow and then her mom is like right there in her face. And I was like, was like, you go, girl. But oh, that would have scared me.
I have twin nephews. I like the boys. They remind me of my boys.
Let's see. Cress was my favorite. Tiffany says that Wendy messaged you in the leader chat on Discord. Cynthia says Captain Thorne is swooning.
And see, he was my least favorite.
Jill says the other night I was up until 12:30 a.m. to finish Flashpoint by Catherine Coulter.
No, Jason was my favorite. Sorry, I spoke wrong. I liked Thorne too. Never mind. I'll shut up.
It was cautiously excited. I think this was before the announcement. Chrissy loves Lauren Elliott. Yes, Sam, I think you need to read Sprinkles and Sea Serpents because it's a cozy fantasy mystery. I just finished it and I really liked it.
The cover is so cute. So like when you guys were talking about it, I was like, maybe, because I am not the biggest cozy fan. But if it's cozy fantasy, I have been liking it more than just like cozy mystery. So if it's cozy mystery fantasy, I like that.
I liked it. It was really fun. It's on Audible if you have that right now. It's included.
It is?
It's pretty short, yeah. And I really liked it. There's a lot of cute like holiday novellas too, if you like to read things seasonally like I do. But I thought it was really fun. I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull up our timer. We almost got caught up to where we announced the winner. So I'm gonna go ahead and star that. But I'm gonna set us up for maybe like 30 minutes, I guess.
Whatever you'd like to do, hon.
Okay. Because I know it's going to get pretty late for a lot of people pretty quickly.
It's Friday.
It's true. It's true. Okay, maybe 30. Let's do 35 and pull that up. I might color. I really want to color and listen to an audiobook. I think that's what I'm going to switch to after I get a snack.
It's funny that you said that because I've been looking at this as my coloring basket.
I love that.
And going, maybe I should color because I've been doing Diamond Art as we've been talking because I've been making bookmarks. Yeah. Maybe I need to color. It's like sing Sonia, color me.
I love it. I feel like I read so much with my eyes yesterday, and now my eyes are like, okay, let's do something else. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's see.
I got the starves. I'm going to eat something.
How do I... Ha! Okay, well, that looks different than Wait, well, there we go. This is my first time hosting with other people, so I'm still trying to figure out how to maneuver people around and stuff. All right, guys, happy reading. We're going to read for 35 and then come back for a final chit-chat. Happy reading, everybody.
Happy reading.
Hi guys! How was that
Hello.
last reading sprint for you? I'm sorry if the cat scared you.
Everything scares me, so
I was prepared this time.
I didn't.
I listened to some of Four Leaf Felony, so I'm almost like 20% of the way into that audiobook, and I colored this in the Sleuth colors.
Cute.
Team Spirit. So that was kind of that. But what did you guys do for the sprint?
The mastermind Tiffany called me and kept me from reading. That's how she wins.
Fair enough. It seems like a mastermind thing to do.
I want everybody out there that is on this, though, to give her all kinds of hard time about injuring her husband. It's too far. She went too far.
That was something. How about you, Sam?
I got a chunk read. I ate a snack, and I only have like 60 pages left of Life's Too Short, so I might stay up and read it tonight. Otherwise, for sure, it'll be done tomorrow.
Amazing. Well, we do have a surprise for everybody. We have a bearer of bad news with an announcement.
Because we didn't get enough.
Here's Maddie, everyone.
Hi, bearer of bad news.
Hi. Well, because one, Amy is wonderful and let me come and crash this little party, I need to let you guys know a little bit of something that's happening. We have had our first official murder, and that is not the goal, unless you're, of course, you're a mastermind. But the kicker is that because Lisa was from the masterminds now have to kind of pay the price for taking out one of their own. So they have to pay penance. And how do the masterminds do that? Well, for this next round, while you guys are trying to snuff out Jesse, who is our next victim, you guys may only use the color white for your covers and not the color red. So no books will get extra points for the color red. They must be white. And then lastly, this affects all teams. Lisa is now a ghost, and she is still a part of the readathon, but her points will be affecting all teams equally, and she is not going to be helping any teams. She is sabotaging all the teams because we couldn't save her and because the masterminds took her off. So that's all I have for you guys, and I hope you guys get some reading done.
Plot
Bye.
twist.
Bye, Maddie. Double crossers. Double crossing masterminds, then it affects us.
And they took out one of their own. How could you do that?
Don't ever trust a mastermind.
I love that plot twist. That's awesome.
That is our little plot twist for the evening. I don't even know where to go with these. Simone was asking Sonia, what was the name of that book you showed us a while back? Steeped in Secrets.
And it's backwards on here. I'm sorry. I thought I flipped the mirror, but I guess I didn't. But Steeped in Secrets by Lauren Elliott.
Perfect. They were able to get through all of these, but Wendy had an interesting idea. She said maybe last season's Sleuths should team up against the masterminds.
I agree.
Just thought, like, temporary truce for this next round and just sabotage masterminds.
It's not a bad idea.
Especially because the thing is if the masterminds win, they take someone out. And I think, was it Jesse? Whose team is she on? I'm trying to remember. The latest victim. But if she goes, then it hurts the Lassies or the Sleuths team, and then everybody because she's a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
So the masterminds winning doesn't help even the masterminds in a strange sense, sort of. Cynthia says we deserve points for emotional damage. And he says we have a common goal of saving. So let's see.
Okay. Yeah, what did the masterminds gain for doing that?
I guess just
bragging rights.
I guess maybe how many wins at the end of the month. I guess I'm not sure.
Maybe.
quite how it all goes. Jules says, I love Disney, playing Disney Dreamlight right now. Bella's my favorite.
That was my Beauty and the Beast was my husband's, which I'm like, well, look who you married. So good choice.
Yes.
And then, so actually, it's kind of funny. John Smith, like with Pocahontas and everything, I'm like, whatever. Like, I could care less about John Smith. I'm all about like Pocahontas and Grandmother Willow and like Miko and Flit, like all that. But then my husband is a blonde, and his stepdad's last name is Smith, and I'm like, well, I guess that was also fitting for me. We married each other's like Disney favorites, I guess.
Definitely. How do you feel about Pocahontas 2?
Oh no, awful. It was not good.
I like the music. I think there's some good songs in there. I hated it as a child. I really, really hated it. But I kind of appreciate parts of it now.
Well, I was so mad because when Disney Plus came out, they didn't have Pocahontas. They had Pocahontas 2 on there. And I was like, who are you? And it took them a long time. And I mean, I had the VHS, but I don't have an active VHS player. So I was like, this is all fine and dandy, but I can't watch it unless I hook up, everything and move stuff around. But yeah, the second one isn't nearly my favorite.
Do you sing with all the voices?
I still think one of like the all-time best Disney songs.
That's an incredible song.
The soundtracks to that movie, like at the end where she's running with the ship going, I cry every time. I sit there and just like, no, can't make it through this.
The staccato comes that shows all the movement and stuff, and like the riff you can do if you sing. I mean, there's so much you can do with that song.
It's so beautiful.
It's a good one.
Let's see. I'm gonna go through a few more comments. Princess Peach says, "Jules, me too. I'm obsessed with that game. I can play at night, so I have to work the next day. Otherwise, I'd play all night." Fun to fangirl with you, then Sam. Cozy Fan Bam also loves Dreamlight Valley. We have a Rapunzel and Belle fan. I
love Rapunzel too.
Rapunzel's grown on me. I think Pocahontas is actually one of my favorites growing up. Still love her. The movie Mulan, I can no longer make it through without sobbing at some point. Like
that was the first DVD I bought. Like when DVDs first came out, that was the first DVD I bought. See, I didn't grow up they didn't do Disney movies when I was a kid. I mean, they already had, I'm not from the 1930s with the Snow White, and I'm not that old. But when I was a little kid, they didn't really have a lot of Disney princess anything, You had Tinkerbell from Peter Pan and whatever, but that was way made before way me. Yeah. Now I would say when I was in high school, like that's when Aladdin came out. That's when, because I actually was the Blue Genie in drama. We had to pick like Disney things to do. It was fun. And Little Mermaid, Little Mermaid.
Love that.
And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But I kind of am a little envious because I didn't have that little girl like you have. You just said, when I was a kid, Pocahontas was my favorite. And
yeah, I didn't get that.
No, I got E.T. But
E.T. scared me.
It did too. E.T. scared me. I had E.T. and Gremlins, and that scared me. Yeah. So,
well, that's like. So I grew up like with Disney movies, and so like I always wanted to go to Disney World, but I didn't get to go to the parks until I was 29.
Wow.
And then now I'm 32, and I've been 6 or 7 times. I've been to both Disney World and Disneyland, and yeah, I didn't know how much more I could love it until I started going, and I was like, oh no, this is a full obsession now. Okay.
I went at 17. Yeah. I went at 17 for graduation present, and I've not been back. So, and just because I love Disney, but it's a lot of people and it's expensive. Going to Disney, you have to sell a body organ to go to Disney anymore. It's so expensive.
Well, I was really lucky because my sister-in-law lived in Orlando, so I stayed with her for free.
That's awesome.
That helps.
And then, yeah, like Universal, all that stuff, like she would always have discounts because she had friends that would work there, and we were able to do it like an affordable way because otherwise I'm not doing this like where I'm staying at like the Grand Floridian every time. The first time when I went with April in September was the first time I stayed at a Disney resort. So that was a new experience, and it was just all-star movies. It was like one of the lowest you can get, but it's been a fun experience. Now I just need to get a Run Disney on my checklist.
Yay.
I love that for you. I think that's so amazing.
It's wonderful. Jewel says Ariel was her favorite growing up, but as an adult, she loves Merida and Moana. I mean, who am I kidding? I love them all. Yeah, I have a really hard time picking. I love Tiana. She's definitely one of my favorites.
Same.
Belle, probably like Ariel, Pocahontas is definitely up there, but Mulan, like how can you pick? It's like picking an arm. I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't like dislike any of them. But
I can't get through Reflection and Moana and not bawl my eyes out every time.
Yes.
And I've seen that movie 8 billion times. But it makes me cry every time.
Mm-hmm.
Snow White actually has become a fast favorite the last few years. Like, I don't think I appreciated Snow White and Cinderella as much as a kid because I was like, they don't really they're not like standing up for themselves. But I was like, you know what? They are persevering and being as like optimistic and cheerful and like making the best of what they can. And I was like, that's powerful too. Like,
well, there's so many like cute talking animals in those and stuff. And I think that those cute talking animals is what made a lot of the Disney movies so fun for everyone, because you have the dragon and Mulan, and then you have like the crab, you have Sebastian, and you have the pelican, you know what I mean? You have
the sidekicks are amazing.
Yes, that's true. I love Mushu.
I think that's why like Snow White and Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty don't really appeal to us until we're a little older. Like Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent, boy, I can relate to her every day of my life times 10.
She's my favorite villain.
Mine too.
I love her.
Stephanie loves Ariel. Cynthia loves Rapunzel and Belle. Wendy says Mulan is my next favorite. Yes. Oh, I can't get through that movie without just tears.
Same.
Oh, and here's all the lots of
Okay.
cheering.
Coraline is terrifying, but it's so good.
That's good terrifying. It's weird.
Let's see. Loves What Lies Beneath. Cozy Bam Bam and Tiffany are going to do a buddy read, it looks like. Karina says Wendy will get bored with the berry pickers. Oh, but it's really good. It's really good. Chrissy says starting Ellery Adams' book retreat series.
Love that
I like
series.
That one.
Highly recommend.
I need to continue it. Wendy's asked, have you read it, Karina? Simone says, Chrissy, I just finished the book retreat series and loved it.
Same.
Kat says, yes, I'm so glad I made it, even if only at the end. I had a meeting tonight. Hope everyone is having good reads. I'm so glad you made it, Kat. Okay, Katie had a question, but I know I answered this in Discord for her, and Tiffany also, all part of her evil plan, answered that through. Chris says, I ate a donut and did my New York Times daily game. Amazing. Jules is on the white cover book search. Your penance. Taking out one of your own. That is cruel. That is
shame.
Next level.
Shame.
Tiffany. Look, I was given a job. Chris says, Sam, I'm so excited you're loving that book. Grandma said that is a fun plot twist.
I feel like I'm going to cry at the end of this book.
I don't like to cry often with books, but when I do, and it's like a good cry, it's like a satisfying.
That's Abby Jimenez's newest one. Every time I opened this book, I would sob. And it took me, like when it came out, people were like reading it in like 2 days, I was like, how? It took me like a week and a half because I kept crying. And I don't mind. I cry all the time. I'm an emotional person. But like, I just don't know how people could like get through it. It's a heavy book.
Yeah, some books certainly. That's why I'm like, when people get through like really emotional books like that, I'm like, how do you read it that fast? Like I read like cozy mysteries and thrillers, because sometimes thrillers can have some, dark themes, but it's usually like quick. It's usually like more about the plot, like move along kind of a thing.
Well, speaking of things that make you cry, the Disney movie that wrecked me as a kid was The Fox and the Hound.
I only watched that like once, and I refused to ever watch it again. Like, no,
I was wrecked. Like I needed therapy before therapy was a thing. I needed therapy. That movie was, well, first of all, there's a grandma. My grandma raised me. And then there's animals, and then I am tenderhearted, and it was awful. I needed therapy so bad.
You know what movie I'm surprised my parents let me see when I was like fairly young, like 9, 10, that I look back at and I'm like, that is a dark movie, is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And I love that movie. I mean, the music in that is gorgeous. I mean, the song Out There, Quasimodo, everything.
Literally last week, my husband and I, he picked it and we started watching it, and he was like, I don't remember any of this. I'm like, you don't remember how dark this movie is? He's like, no, this is awful.
Well, and like burn
down all of Paris.
Right. A lot of wink, wink, nod, nod, like sexual innuendo too.
Yeah.
Frollo is the creepiest, most terrifying villain to me, because I think he's the most realistic.
Yes.
And I'm like, that terrifies me, because as much as I love Ursula, I'm pretty sure we're not going to have like a sea witch rise up from the sea and like take over probably. But Frollo, I'm like, I could see you existing, which is why I'm terrified of you.
Yeah. That is so true.
Grandma Susan said that is a fun plot twist. This is so fun. Simone says, thank you, Sonia. And Karina says, mwah. Masterminds. I'm like, oh no. Grandma Susan said, Wendy, I'd have the same thought about last season's Sleuths teaming up. I don't know. I'm open to it. I think it's...
2 teams are better than 1.
Yes. At least we'll save the person. Like, that's...
I mean, the Lassies are just going to tell us to butt out, and we're just going to put our nose in it anyway. I mean, isn't that what happens in every mystery?
Yep. Every cozy mystery. They're like, if you don't stop, I'm going to lock you up. And they do it like 3 more times, and they're finally like...
Yeah, good luck locking me up.
I'd like to see someone try.
I'd like to see you try.
Yeah. Lisa's haunting us. She is. Jill says, I read Steeped in Secrets and loved it. Corinna said, Jules had all the scary red books and now needs to find all the angelic white books. Yes.
I have a suggestion for a white one. But I don't want to help out. Never mind.
She's like, never mind.
Timmy says, Lassies have won twice in a row. Why are you picking on us? Because you guys are doing the evil stuff, though. Like, at least the Lassies were, like, in, like, the same kind of moral side as us, even if we're a little more of the chaotic good, I guess. Almost half done.
Lassie's winning didn't put us back in a situation either, and that, Masterminds did.
Mm-hmm.
No one died. No ghost. Corinna says mine would be The Little Mermaid, but it's hard to pick. I agree. Corinna cried 5 minutes into Moana. Yes, absolutely. Maddie loves Tangled. I really do too.
I don't know if I've
E.T.
I don't think I've ever seen Tangled.
Oh, it's so cute.
You need to.
I'm sure I would love it, but I don't think I've seen it.
I think Flynn Rider is my favorite prince. He has the best personality. He's funny. It's so cute. I love that one.
Jill
and
loves
Pascal
E.T.
is like one of the best sidekicks. I love Pascal.
What is he? A chameleon, right? A chameleon.
Yep. He's a little chameleon.
Jill loved the original Snow White, but also the original Cinderella, the black and white version with Leslie Ann Down.
I've seen that, and
I haven't seen that. That sounds lovely. I love that. Simone says, one of my favorite memories of my daughter is how she loved The Little Mermaid. She memorized the whole movie and could sing all of Ariel's parts. She was only 2 at the time.
Aww.
Oh, that is so cute.
I was 17
so lovely.
When it came out, 9-year-old, but I guess it's not as cute.
Hey, I wish I could sing. When I say I don't have one family member who plays a musical instrument, or can sing decently. Like there is not like an ounce of musical talent in my gene pool. It's really bad. Like I don't have one relative who plays the piano or does anything musical at all.
I don't think I do either.
Really? I'm surprised by that.
Now, my dad plays bass guitar.
Okay.
But I mean, no one in my family. I am the black sheep. Like I'm the only one that did theater. I'm the only one that did sing. The rest of them are just very introverted, and they just want to be in the back of the room and don't take their attention. And I'm like, I'm on stage, with my arms out. Ready.
See, it skipped a couple generations.
Yeah,
because not even like not on my mom or my dad's side do I really have anybody who was like, I mean, I had people try to convince me to go into drama, like to go like New York and go, do that. When I was in high school, I actually was offered a full ride scholarship and I turned it down because I didn't want to major in drama.
I mean, fair, but that's crazy.
But there's no one else in my family. My mother hates musicals. Like when we did Grease in high school, my mom's like, "That's a musical, isn't it?" And I was like, "Yeah." It's just like, "Don't you have to go?" And I was like, "Your only child is performing. Yes, you have to go. Just go one night.
Good for you.
Go all four."
My dad absolutely hates musicals, but my mom and I enjoy them. We'll go see them.
I love musicals. I can't sing.
Yeah, when people are like, "Are you tone deaf or something?" I'm like, I don't even know what the tone is supposed to sound like. So I don't know. Maybe, probably. Jill says, "Love Ellery Adam book retreat series. I have the final book to read. I'm holding off because I don't want the series to end." I know how that feels. That's a tough spot to be in. Kat says, "Read the book Hunchback of Notre Dame. Even sadder. Definitely a strange pick for Disney to pick to make into an anime movie." Yes, I read that book. And I thought, I can't get sadder than this movie. I mean, this movie. And then I was reading the book and I was like,
devastating.
The book is devastating. And then I do admit to skipping like 30 pages of him describing Notre Dame, though, because I was like, I can't sit here. That's one of the things I don't think I get into fantasy too, is there's so much world building, which is awesome. But when you're sitting there describing Notre Dame for 30 pages, I'm like, okay, skip a few pages here.
I think what bothers me the most is I think that it's based on like reality. Like back then, if you had, if there were humans that were disformed in any sort of way or did not, had any sort of disability, I mean, this is pretty much how they were treated. And it just breaks my heart.
It's really terrible. But yeah, it is a strange, I really enjoy the movie, and it feels weird to say you enjoy a movie like that because there's obviously so much darkness to it, but I appreciate them making the movie because I do think it's a good one. But it is a strange pick. Maddie said, "If Cody didn't exist, Flynn would be my dream man." Breezy says Flynn is Captain Thorne.
Yes, he is.
And that is so accurate. And Krina was 12 when The Little Mermaid came out. That Little Mermaid. Tiffany says, "I love musicals. If I could have a superpower, it would be able to make people randomly break out in song and dance."
Yes!
You don't need to use it on Sonia, though. She would just do it.
I just do it.
Just click.
Everyone really would be like, "I have a spell. I can't stop." And Sonia's like, "What?
I don't.
I was just acting normal."
It's kind of
oh my goodness.
a curse. It really is, because it is so hard. If somebody says a phrase that I know in a lyric, it takes everything out of me not to sing it back to them. Like it really hurts us.
I'm so glad there's people like you, though.
Thank you. I'm so glad there's people like you. Can you imagine a whole world of me?
I can. If everyone was like me, we just would never get out of our house. It would be really bad. Like everyone would just be in their homes. It would be hard to have like a dinner party even, because no one would want to come to the dinner party. But I'm like,
I think that sounds delightful, because I'm a homebody. I'm an introverted extrovert, I think, because I love introverted things. Like I love quiet. I don't like a lot of people. Like you were talking about Disney, and I started getting DTs and like sweat in my back because I don't know too many people.
But do you know what's funny? I don't leave my house. Like, my husband he didn't make me. He told me I should take this part-time job at the gym so I got out of the house, because him and my brother have a running joke, because my husband will do the grocery shopping, he'll do everything. I literally did not leave our house for 3 months, and it wasn't COVID. It was by choice.
Yeah.
I love being at home until I don't, and then I go on like all these adventures, and then I'm back home as a
Right.
homebody. And then I don't know what happened, but like 1 week, I just was like, I'm just gonna be more like outgoing, because I was in so much of a bubble that we went to Walmart, because that's our only grocery store here. And I was like just chatting with the cashier and like being really nice. Literally, while we're checking out, my husband was like, "Who are you?"
I
And I'm
love.
just like, dude, this is embarrassing. And he's like, why are you talking to so many people?
My Dan is an introvert, like severe introvert. Like if you talk to him, he'll talk back, absolutely. But he is not one. Like if we're in the store, he is not one. And I will immediately be like, "Girl, I like your shoes. Those are so cute." You know what I mean? I'm just. It's just who I am. And he's like, "You will talk to anybody." And I said, "No, I won't. I have to have a purpose." And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "No, I will not."
But see, that's like the person I want to be. So every now and then I get a little bit of confidence, and I'm like, if I think something like, yeah, I really like your bag or something, I'm going to say it, because
That's the wonderful rule.
I want to be that person that like does those things. But I told myself that I was going to start doing it, and apparently it took my husband aback, because he is the type of person, we're standing in line, we're on a plane, and he'll make friends with everybody, and I'm like, leave me alone. I'm reading. Don't talk to me. I'm in my bubble. So it really just like took him by surprise, and I'm like, it just depends on the situation,
Mhm.
But
Yeah, I love, first of all, that you're saying, when you compliment somebody else, it isn't a one-way gift. It truly is a two-way gift, because the feeling that you get from making that person smile, or you don't know what that person has been through that day. You don't know what they walked out of that door with. And for one person to say something kind to them, that might have been the only person that's been kind to them in weeks. So you are giving that person a gift, but that gift, it will also come back to you. That's granny wisdom. That's what my granny used to teach.
I love that.
So that's
that.
beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. Dan will laugh at me, because he's like, I swear, you meet somebody. I went to CozyCon in St. Louis, and I made a best friend with one of the library people, and he's like, she was a complete stranger to you, and now you're best friends. And I was like, this is just how I roll.
Yeah.
Get over it.
I feel like extroverts find me, and that's how I make friends.
But I also love extroverts for that.
Yes.
That's in college, I was so shy, and then I had a friend who would just like, was the person who started talking. I also raised leader dogs for the blind, like the puppy raiser. And I got a lot more friends because of that. And I was like, I got a puppy so that people would come and talk to me, and I didn't have to go talk to them. Because we just talk about the dog. Who doesn't want to talk about a puppy?
Yeah.
I go up to people to talk about their dogs.
Yeah. I had a therapy dog in my classroom my last 4 years of teaching. And what that's called, that's called, like, they call it a barrier or something, for someone who has fright, or someone who's afraid of speaking out or whatever. That animal creates kind of a barrier and gives you comfort, so you feel comfortable talking about that. It gives you a subject, it gives you something. So that's it's very real, and you guys are not the only one who are like that. And us extroverts sometimes don't know what to say, or feel like we talk too much. Me always.
I love it though.
I feel like I was told, like, growing up, like, I'm so quiet, and then once I start talking, I don't stop. Corinna understands this. She's like, I befriended this girl thinking she was quiet, and now she won't stop talking.
That's my Dan. Once you get him going, he's quiet most of the time.
You just gotta break that shell, and then
I'm quieter in groups. But yeah, once you get me in a corner, once I'm comfortable with you, I will absolutely
talk about some cozy mysteries and thrillers, Scooby-Doo,
dogs, food. Corinna says there's nothing better than making someone feel good. I agree. Well, I think we're gonna wrap up, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm crashing a bit.
She's pumpkinning out.
Early bird is it a early bird, morning bird, early bird? Okay. You can tell I'm getting tired because I start to mix up my words real well. But thank you guys so much for being here. Thank both of you for being here with me.
Fun.
I'm so excited to have you here as my first guest. And thank you everyone for coming and hanging out with us and sleuthing, masterminding, lasting, whatever you're doing. Thank you.
Do you ladies have anything coming up on your channels before you leave?
That is a good point. You guys go ahead. I think I actually was supposed to say something from Discord. I'm gonna look. So you guys go ahead real quick and I'm gonna look, make sure I don't miss it.
Go ahead, Sam.
I just posted a video today on a life update, and it's just like what I've been doing and where I plan on going in the next little bit. So if you want to learn more about me, I just posted that today.
That's great. I just did a cozy vlog. I try to do a vlog once a month. Dan and I did we accidentally did a Japanese theme, which was kind of fun. We shopped at a Japanese store. I videoed that, and then I made some book. I always try to tie in books somewhere since I'm a booktube channel. It just makes sense that I just suggested some of my favorite Japanese translation books that I absolutely love because I'm a big fan of those, and it was a good time. So I just posted that yesterday. It's fairly new.
I love that.
That sounds lovely. I can't wait to watch that.
Thank you.
So excited. Okay, I think there's two sprints coming up for the Murder and Mayhem thing. Readathon. My words are not going well right now. So I'm going to read them off so I get the times right. So Tiffany has her normal ones on Sunday at 4. I think that's 4 p.m. Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
I think Maddie is also going to be doing sprints Tuesday evening. I'm not sure if I see a specific time. And then it sounds like Jules is going to host sprints on Thursday, I think, and also at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I think there'll be sprints, it sounds like kind of Sunday afternoon-ish and Tuesday and Thursday evening coming up for this readathon in general.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm seeing there. And then as for me, I just posted my reading wrap-up. So there you go.
31 books. Gal.
Wow.
Yeah, there were a handful of DNFs, but yes, it was. I'm trying to best that month because now it counts for points, and I'm competitive.
Yes.
And thank you, everyone, for being here. So glad to have you guys, and thank you again,
Thank you,
Sonia, for being here. This was so fun. We need to do it again. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful evening.
Goodbye.